Welcome to another episode of The Fantasy Thinker. I'm your host, Jared Quartermanch, and today we are going to be doing Reading the Prose number 2. And once again, we are returning to The Bonehunters by Steven Erikson, which I just finished up this weekend. But I'm going to a particular chapter here on page 661. 660, yeah. And so that's chapter 21, which was another outstanding chapter, like another another like 80-page chapter in the book on this massive tome. Um, and so I would like to read a small section here because Erickson's style of writing very much harkens to short storytelling. And so you can pretty much pick up any little section in this book and get a short story out of it, no matter where it is, no matter what's gone on before and what's gone on after. Of course, there's some exceptions and what have you. But that kind of style really grabbed me as a reader of Erickson's stuff. And so I'll go over that further when I do a full review of Bone Hunters if I can. But and this is my second read of Bone Hunters. I'm on my reread of the Malazan series. Uh, but for now, on reading the prose, number 2, I want to do a small section and just demonstrate that short story style that Erikson is handing out to us in some exemplary fashion here. So, without further ado, hopefully you can see it on my screen now. We can read through this. First paragraph. Like a tidal flow, let's start again. Like a tidal flow, clashing at the mouth of a raging river, walls of water rose in white, churning explosions on all sides as the Salanda lunged, prow plunging into the maelstrom of the massive gate. Beyond was a sky transformed, steel, silver, and gray, the tumult of atmospheric convulsions seeming to tumble down, as if but moments from crushing the score of ships already through. The scale, to Bottle's eyes, was all wrong. Moments earlier, their warship had been but a cable behind the Frothwolf, and now the adjunct's flagship was a third of a league distant, dwarfed by the looming clouds and heaving swells. So in this first paragraph here, we're getting a description of our setting. We're getting a lot of alliteration, actually. Walls of water, white, um, and so forth. And we're also getting a sense of a lot of chaos going on. There's a couple of boats mentioned in here, so it looks like these a couple of boats in part of a fleet because you mentioned a warship. So you're given a lot of information here. You're given the point of view character, which is Bottle, and how out of sorts he feels with the chaos that's going around him, the maelstrom, the massive gate, the the atmospheric convulsions tumbling down. And this, like he says, like Bottle observes, this is all wrong. And it seems like this fleet seemed to have gone through some sort of gate, whatever that gate may be. This is epic fantasy, so this could be a lot of magic involved here. uh so moving on, we got huddled beside Bottle, hands gripping the rail. Fiddler spat out the last of his breakfast, too sick to curse, too miserable to even so much as look up. Which was likely a good thing, Bottle decided, as he listened to other Marines being sick all around him and the shouts close to panic from the scrambling sailors on the transport wallowing in their wake. So we get another more setting here and a bit more character. Um, we have his friend or marine fellow marine fiddler. He's the focus of the sick, and you also get a sense of the other marines on the ship as well having the same problems. Um, and Bottle decides that rather than look out on the chaos around them and what could be happening to them, it looks like Bottle is saying, "Okay, well, let them be sick." So that's a nice little character building thing there. Um, Next, we have Gessler began blasting on that damn whistle as the ship rose above a huge swell. And Bottle almost cried out to see the stern of the Froth Wolf rearing immediately in front of them. Twisting round, he looked back to see the sorceress gate far away, its raging mouth filled with ships that worked clear, then plunged suddenly close behind the Solanda. By the abyss, we're damn near flying here. So, more chaos, more twisting boats, and looks like they're almost flying up in the air on top of these huge waves, and there's swells there, the huge swells of the waves. So there's a lot of action still happening here. These boats are going all over the place. um he could see to starboard a mass of icebergs spilling out from the white lined horizon. A wall of ice, he realized. So now we get ice. Whilst to port rose a wind battered coastline, thrashing deciduous trees, oak, arbutus, and here and there clumps of white pine, their tall trunks rocking back and forth with every savage gust. Between the fleet and that shore, there were seals, their heads dotting the waves, the rocky beaches crowded with the beasts. So we have, you know, this chaos going all over the place here. And we also have, you know, we're going by some kind of shoreline over there. And, and it's just, it doesn't, like he said up above in the first paragraph, the scale is all wrong. Something is going on here. There's obviously some kind of magic involved here because there's a lot of chaos going on in the scenery. And Bottle is our point of view, and so we're getting what he is describing basically to us. And to read on here, Bottle, Fiddler croaked, still not looking up. Tell me some good news. We're through the gate, Sergeant. It's rough, and it looks like we got a sea full of icebergs closing in to starboard. No, not that close yet. I think we'll outrun them. I'll wager the whole fleet's through now. Gods, those Parish catamarans look like they were made for this. Lucky bastards. Anyway, rumor is this won't be long here in this realm. Sergeant? So before we get to the end here, uh, right there, Bottle gives us a little bit more information about um, how he sees the situation. And we also get to see that the whole fleet's through. So the fleet, it confirms the information beginning at the given at the beginning of this little short story that this fleet was going through some sort of gate and magical gate of some sort, and it says he won't be long here in this realm. So they were going through some other realm, something they weren't used to. So that was some awesome information that we were given there, little bits of their situation. And then, of course, he asked a question at the end, Sergeant. And then we move on to, but the man was crawling away, heading for the hatch. Sergeant? I said good news, Bottle. Like we're all about to drop off the world's edge, something like that. Oh, well, he called out as the man slithered across the deck. There's seals. So, and that ends the section right there. So the good news is it looks like they're going to make it, and there's seals. So our little story here is basically that we have we have two characters, two Marines in a chaotic situation on a boat, and one Marine is amazed at what's going on. He's he's taking it all in, and he's just awestruck. It must be sublime in the true sense of the word, really, with this magic in this other realm and all this stuff going on. And you have another Marine to counteract that, contrast it with just being sick, just wanting to die, either kill me or get this over with, something like that. Because the good news would have been we are dropping off the edge of the world, and that's it. Uh, rather than this horrible feeling, this horrible sick feeling he's getting while in the throes of this chaotic journey through these this ocean that they're trying to sail on with these huge waves and stuff. So that's our story right there. Chaotic situation, make the best of it. The good news is there's seals, and so much is left up to conjecture there about who these guys might be. Further more than what we're given here. Um, And of course, it is in the middle of a huge novel, so these characters have been seen before and they'll be seen after. But you can get a really decent little tiny story there. And that's just something that I think is common feature, I guess, in Erikson's writing that I love so much. I love the short story. I used to write short stories, and that was my thing. And so when I get these awesome epic fantasy novels that use that style so well, with such expertise, you know, I'm gonna love those novels. And so I hope you enjoyed this little snippet of The Bone Hunters by Steven Erikson, and this little snippet of reading the prose number two. So be good to each other and have a good night. Thank you.